Thing connected. All right, there we are. Thank you guys for joining me again here on my Fact Friday. So, my name is Courtney Owens, and I am the founder of the Body Emporium. This is an online learning platform where it talks about everything health and wellness. Check for the website. That's www.theBodyEmporium.org, and also bodyemporium.thebeofficial.com. So feel free to check out both of those websites, and just thank you guys for following me on all my platforms. So I am always every Friday streaming live from my Facebook page, The Body Emporium, as well as my Instagram page, that's under Woman Warrior and The Body Emporium. You can also find me on my YouTube channel, that is The Body Emporium as well. So you will be able to see this live stream on all of my platforms. So thank you guys for checking out my website and just staying with me here as I help educate you guys on hair and everything that encompasses it. I always like to say that I have been, yeah. Okay, let me know if you guys can see me on screen. So somebody put in the comments if you can see my face on screen. Able to be seen on the stream. I'm getting word that I'm not able to be seen on all. Okay, so I know I'm being viewed on Instagram. Is it able to be seen on Facebook? Okay, so it is definitely live. Okay, can you see me on Facebook? Am I able to be seen? I can only see so much information. So I am going to go ahead and continue to stream live, and they can work that out in just a second. So I want to welcome everyone, and thank you so much for following my journey here with the Body Emporium. Today, I am speaking of something that I know most of you have never heard of. So this is a super interesting topic to me, because when I bring it up to people, a lot of times people are very skeptical when I say this, and most people don't even realize where I'm coming from. They don't know how I'm coming up with what I'm saying. So if you can see the title, I put it up there. It is The Power of Touch, and how being a hairstylist is spiritual. So now, I don't know if you guys have heard this before, but I have known for quite some time now that being a hairstylist, for me, has always been a spiritual calling. It is not one of those things that I just do as a hobby. Yes, I do it as a lifelong calling and career. but it has always been more than that to me. It has always been a place of peace for me, just a place of spiritual relaxation and guidance for me. And many of my clients do not know this about me, but I've always said a prayer, a small prayer, especially early on when I began in my career. I just always said a small prayer behind my clients. A lot of them didn't even know this was going on. And it was just something I did, mainly because it was a way of calming myself down. If anyone has ever taken a trade up, you know that, especially something with hair. A lot of times you're really hoping that your customer likes what you've done to their hair and is satisfied with the style that you've given them, and people come to you as the expert, and that is no matter how many years you have in the industry, you are considered the expert on hair, and people come to you for that. So that is how I began to know at a very young age that just the power of being able to touch someone was super spiritual. So let me just start by the spiritual sense of touch. It symbolizes a closeness and a sense of belonging for most women. So that is, I knew early on was a very intimate touch, because when you think about it, most women, there are we are the few people that are able to touch a woman's head or hair. And like I explained in my last Fact Friday, I was explaining to you guys how hair is our spiritual antennas, if you will, that all over our body, especially our hair, because that's where the most of our hair follicles lie. But and it's totally different. So having that sense of touch is totally different from our sense of smell. So our spiritual sense of smell usually has a lot to do with our connection with attractiveness. So think about if you have your eyes closed and someone, a male walks by you and he has on some cologne. That as a woman is an attractiveness to you. So that sense of smell is different from that sense of touch. You can smell a scent on a man and it will attract you to him. And if you see an attractive man across the room and he comes close to you and he has a stench and a not so good smell, that can be a total turnoff. So that just goes to reinforce how much different the spiritual sense of smell and the spiritual sense of touch are, two totally different things. So back in ancient times, and even still today, there are a lot of places in Africa, especially the Middle East region, where a lot of women, they shave their heads as a spiritual ritual. Their hair is prayed over, so their hair is considered very sacred, if you will. So I don't know if you've noticed, but hair is definitely spiritual, but also being a stylist, to me, that is a very it's a very spiritual position to be able to hold with most women. We are in a position where women are able to be vulnerable in our presence. And um, I believe that part of my calling as a hairstylist has always been to pour into women. That has given me that intimacy, that intimate level where I'm able to pour into women as they're in the shampoo bowl or as I'm styling my hair. Most stylists serve as more than just a hairdresser. We are someone that's there to listen and sort of counsel, if you will, but in a more relaxed way. So we are by no means psychologists or anything like that. But I do think there is a sense of spiritual connection and energy transfer that goes on between a stylist and her client. Most women do not know this, but most women have a double personality that most women are not aware of. And I have always had the innate ability as a stylist to see both of these spirits, if you will, manifest in women as my clients. And I believe that plays a large part in why I've been able to retain the clientele that I've been able to retain for so many years. And I say that because when a woman is sitting in my chair, I will notice that, say she takes a phone call, and say maybe her children call, or maybe her spouse calls. I don't know if you've ever noticed as a stylist, but for me, I not only study hair, I study my clients as well. And I will notice a change. It's almost a change in my client, a change in their spirit, a change in their energy, depending on who they're talking to on their phone. I've seen it most with children and their spouses. And that's how I know that most women carry this double minded facade. There is a person of them that they are, and there is a person in them that has been created. So the person that is created is a person that protects who they absolutely are. And it's interesting because I have seen docile, very conservative women in my shop um, change. I've seen their spirit change drastically. They'll get on the phone with their children, or they'll get on the phone with their spouse and transform and become this person that can either bark at their kids, or, why are you doing this, and don't do this, and no, I'm getting my hair done, and do not call me, and I'll be there in a minute, and make sure this is done. And I've seen that. And then as immediately once they get off the phone, they go back into their actual authentic self. Oh, okay, I'm back now. And the aggression is gone. That anger is gone. And I have seen that so many times, which for me just confirms that we as women carry a double mind, and we don't really realize how many personalities that we're really dealing with as women. And I've noticed that they manifest in a couple different ways. It shows up in either anger, it can show up in a provocativeness. The way a client dresses, or the way a client presents themselves, or it can show up as a facade. You may have a client that has to be a name brand clothes. They have to carry a name brand bag, and when you begin to talk to your clients on a deeper level, you begin to see that softer side of them, the unprotected side. They begin to be a lot more vulnerable with you as their stylist. And I love that I've been able to see this. And I even have a master class that I am working on, and I will release soon, on the Body Emporium. And it talks about building that rapport and being able to make that spiritual connection with your clients. And to me, that truly helps you retain your clientele. It's totally different. And people think that if they have the gift of gab and they're able to communicate, that is the most important thing in client retention. And it simply just is not. It's not necessarily your ability to communicate as much as it is your ability to connect. And a lot of people communicate, but very few people learn that way to connect. And for me, that has been the key component in me being able to retain my clientele. So I can't wait till I'm able to offer that masterclass to you guys. And it just gives you keys on how to not only get your clients, but also retain them as well. We as women, our natural ability, we want to nurture, we want to fix someone. So I've seen all too often where hairstylists will lose clients because in that atmosphere of trying to fix and correct your client, you alienate them and you tend to push them away. So this is going to be an extremely amazing class here, the master's class that I'm going to offer. It's going to be super amazing because it really leans towards showing a stylist how important it is to connect with your client and where your boundaries lie, and how if you deal with your client in a more spiritual aspect, that it's so much easier to understand that woman and to sometimes recognize that that woman has two faces, and that a lot of times you are dealing with the facade and that face that she's put on to be that strong person, be that mother, be that wife. And when she gets in your chair, she is letting down her guard. She is dealing and being that authentic person that sometimes even she has not developed and doesn't know very well. And so in understanding that with your clients, I think it will give you as a professional a much better grasp on how to deal with certain women and not to take it so personal. So if you have a client that doesn't talk very much, or you have a client that seems to be angry all the time, there are different things that you can do that that client even doesn't even have to be aware of, where you can get them to open up and find that connection that you can make with that client. Definitely a spiritual connection you can make with them, and that could change the relationship that you have with that client. So I just think it's the key to client retention. So again, I cannot wait to release that master's class. I want you to guys to be looking forward to that, because building that rapport with your client is going to be a key element in client retention and being able to communicate effectively with women. So I love being able to um, delve into this topic, because I've had so many experiences with women, and things change. I think one of the major things that have stood out to me is the atmosphere, and how not only me as a stylist and a professional, but how my atmosphere will sort of dictate the clients that I have and whether they decide to come back. Think about it. If you have a atmosphere in your salon and you play calming music, not only do you play calming music, you there is a sense of peace in the salon, a sense of serenity. You will notice that your clients will be more open. They will be more willing to talk. They will be more relaxed. Whereas if you have ever been in a salon where it's a lot going on, it's loud. There is a lot of secular music being played. Possibly different people are able to play different musics, and it's a lot of different energy running around in one area. You will notice that there is a different clientele level that's in that environment. And for me, I totally believe that since everything is a source of energy, that all affects how your clients react. And the atmosphere that is very important. So if you play very conservative clientele, just keep in mind that in your clients, even in your chair, so difficulties at the beginning. the body emporium. You can check out the website. So make sure you guys are following directly to the university. Yes, it will be coming.